And within itself, Denali, the star of the show, proved the rule about formalism versus consequentialism. Right, girl? Here, go. Sorry, come on. Yeah, lay it down. Good girl. You deserve it. But the idea is that there are leash rules, just like there are rules with everything else. I've spent a lot of time and effort with Denali to have her off leash. Now we've only been down here in Florida for 4 months, so there are a lot of other dogs around here, and I myself haven't had the best of opportunities and time to work with her like I should, but I paid for the consequences of taking this beautiful untrained dog out to do a video. And there's that age-old saying from Hollywood, even, you can never trust an animal whenever doing any kind of videos or movies or things of that nature. Who is it? Peel even did a thing about it. It's the movie Nope. So, like, the whole movie Nope, crazy enough about it is controlling animals, believing that man is above beast, and it plays off of the idea of the actual secondary story, which is Glenn from The Walking Dead being a dude who was in a TV sitcom that had a live ape, and that live ape freaked out and just, I think, killed a couple people and dismembered some girl and such. So whenever there's this new alien predator that comes down from wherever it comes down from, he believes that he can control it, yada yada yada, ends up dying. So it's the same thing, that you're running off of control of an animal. So the consequences the consequence was an inability to successfully create a controlled video. That just laughs in the face of everything. I'm like, oh, you're trying to control something, and then it's an animal, and blah, 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 blah. So backwards to the forwards, formalism is just basically doing what you're supposed to do. Because somebody smarter than you thought of the consequences of you doing what you want to do, and they are bad for the bottom line and for society in a whole. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, kind of thing. But look at her, she's having fun. So within that is what I prescribe to, is consequentialism. Like, I know that I know that I have prepared the issue to not become an issue. Just kind of like the idea of nothing's ever a problem until it becomes a problem. I say that to my kids about what we found out is their obsession and addiction to electronics, which we kind of just began to grasp on the full concept. Not even, like, we're talking about decades of things that were once an idea of evolution. Where did we come from? Well, creationists would say that we've come from Jesus, and God and such as, and the omnipotent one should not be laughed at. Even though I'm not religious, I could never say that I'm an atheist, because atheism in itself, it is saying one or the other, and honestly, I have no fucking clue. I have no goddamn clue what comes after, I don't know, my aneurysm 2 days from now, my tripping and falling down the steps. I have a cat in this house that I've fallen down steps because of, and like had to crawl over to my phone. I hurt my back that much. So I could trip down steps tomorrow and die from a cat. That's where I'm at, and that's honestly where everything else is. Oh, speak of the devil, there's that cat right there. So when we're looking at consequences of our action versus fundamentalism, we get deep into what is the idea of insurance or credit, or playing the safe bet. The whole idea, and I'll probably say this about 15 or 20 more thousand fucking times, insurance companies don't lose money. Mutual funds are such a beautiful long-term investment. If you had $500 million right now to invest in a simple mutual fund, I have a buddy who does Northwestern Mutual. Let's use him. Clearly that would be cool too, because he'd definitely have to give me a kickback. But if you were to give him $500 million to put in a simple 401, not a 401k, in a simple mutual fund, and there's various ways that you could do that. You could get into variable life insurance policies, which your life insurance and what you're putting into it actually work on the public market. So the stuff that you would never see about what is in New York and the stock exchange and yada yada is what your life insurance is based off of. Luckily, they're a mutual fund, so they've presented the idea that they can cap it off at such a loss. So I'm sorry, I go back to, within that ability, yeah, you'd be good. But how many of us right now don't have that ability? Not even to put $1,000 into something that might make us money here in a couple of years. Even annuities. If you had money to provide annuities, you would. That's where creating and maintaining wealth comes into play. Like, not talking about having money for your kids to go to college. No, like having money for your grandkids' kids to go to college, because you've created wealth, and it's based in annuities and foundations, and it has tax havens created with charities, and there's just so many things that we're missing out on because of why. We're just goddamn trying to get by to buy. Follow the rules. Do what's expected of us. The fundamentalism portion of it. See how I brought it back and I made it about fundamentalism, and did the whole thing with Denali as consequentialism, because I've trained her to be good off a leash, to actually listen to me, and I've never had a problem with her. Other dogs have barked at her. Think she is a very smart, intelligent, beautiful animal who I've spent time with and is well trained. But even the idea of me making a video about formalism versus consequentialism, I had to experience the consequences of having a live animal dictate, I don't know, the information that I was provided. Like, hey, this whole thing is based off of this dog listening to me. Oh, the dog isn't listening to me? Holy shit. Consequentialism. High five.